Well, here we are, speaking of horses. We're in Columbus, Ohio, and we are at the Quarter Horse Congress. And I'm happy to be standing here in the Australian Stock Saddle Company booth with Colin Dagaard. And Colin is one of the principal owners, or the owner of the Australian Stock Saddle Company. But he's got a book out. And, of course, you're from Australia, so welcome.
Thank you, Wayne. Thank you very much indeed. Yeah, love this place, except for the rain.
Yeah, it's been raining this morning, but we're here not to talk saddles necessarily this time, but we're here to talk about a book called Talking with Horses that you have out, and it's a historical novel that you describe. So tell us a little bit about this book.
Yeah, Wayne, this is a book about really it's about the history of the horse. The horse is 55 million years old. Man is 5 million years old. And the horse changed very little over that time, except physically, but its brain remained the same. Contrary to us, we developed enormous layers of brains, and our physiology also changed somewhat. So it's how we learn to communicate with the horse. And today there are such people who still use that primary old primitive brain that we all have, but modern man, as man developed layers of brain which buried that old brain. But autistic people still have that brain, and it's still a primary cognizant function for them. We don't use that brain hardly ever at all, which makes them a little different to us, so to speak. But my heroine is a young girl, an 18-year-old autistic girl, who, because of her condition, can communicate with a horse. So in that context, she does wonderful things with her horse called Tower, and becomes a national sensation in the jumping circuit, saves the family ranch, has a romance in the hills of Malibu, and like all autistic people, she has a whole fantasy world. And in her fantasy world, she rides with Attila the Hun and falls in love with the lieutenant of Attila the Hun.
So you can actually mix all of the storylines in here, so you can bring all the facts of the different stages of history with a horse into the story that way.
Correct. I've woven actual history into a story, a fictional story about such a girl, and that way I'm able to reveal the enormous importance the horse has had in the life and the evolution of man. And the interesting thing about this is that the horse is that old, and we are that old, but the horse has only been ridden for 5,000 years. That's all. But we've known the horse for millions of years. So I find that really strange, that it's only just like yesterday that we started riding the horse. And the funny thing about that too, in my research, I unearthed the fact that women were the first people to ride horses, the first humans to ride horses, the Sarmatians in year 3500 BC. And because of that, they became the most powerful army in the southern steppes of Russia, where they were.
Well, the horse truly has had its effect on man all through history, and autistic people seem to have a more open mind to have that telepathic type communication with the horse, and they just seem to understand each other better. And those are all factual things we know about. So it looks like a very intriguing book, and I guess you're doing very well in sales, right?
Yeah, sales are going very well on Barnes & Noble and Amazon.com, and I'm selling it well on my website. And I've now I have to write a series of these books, so I'm on number 2 already, the sequel. And I've sold the movie rights to the sequel, but I haven't sold the movie rights to the first one. But you know me, Wayne, I'm working on it.
All right, let me show this to you real again. It's called Talking with Horses. There is the book. You can get it at Barnes & Noble, and where else?
And AussieSaddle.com, that's my own website, AussieSaddle.com, AussieSaddle.com.
Well, Colin, thank you very much, and good luck with the book and the movie rights, and it looks like a fascinating read. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Wayne. It's a blast.
And here we are. You never know what you're going to find next here at the Quarter Horse Congress. We're on Speaking of Horses. Stay with us.
Thank you.